Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 12 of Speed Film Watchers. Um, we've been having a fun break. Anything interesting happening over break for you?
No,
Um,
not really.
the only thing I know
Um,
YouTube annotations were removed a few days, like a little less than a week ago. Rip annotations.
yeah, back in the day, there was actually choose your own adventure stories that were built around that mechanic.
Oh yeah, like there was
But
one that I managed to preserve called "This Is Non-Escape." It's pretty cool. Uh,
I don't know if you can even do those anymore now with the new.
Yeah. Well, you can link videos in the description, but you can do like puzzles where you try to put in a password by clicking annotations. Those are really cool. Oh, I wish I preserved the dark room
Okay,
though. I remember the annotations going away like only 4 days beforehand. So yeah, I couldn't preserve the dark room. I preserved This Is Non-Escape.
well, I guess one thing that I have been getting on recently is the Kingdom Hearts 3 leaks that came out
I
during
know
this
Kingdom
month.
Hearts 3's coming out, but I know nothing about the series, so I don't care.
Dude, the entire end game and all the important cutscenes were leaked today.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna watch them because I don't really care about the gameplay of Kingdom Hearts. I just care about the story.
I mean, I don't even
Yeah.
have the console, so yeah, I don't really care.
I'm gonna say right off the bat that I have not seen the entirety of Part 3. What I have done is I've read a bunch of like synopses and reviews, and I've watched a bunch of clips on YouTube that were disjointed from one another.
Why?
I didn't have enough time,
Something tells me
but I
that it
think I have a
takes
good
way more
idea.
time and effort, but okay. Oh god.
I didn't want to keep you waiting because I we were supposed to do
Yeah.
this on Saturday, and then we moved it to yesterday, and then I said tomorrow.
Yeah.
I didn't want to keep pushing it back.
Yeah. Nah. Uh, yeah, I will admit, allowing for a trilogy might have not been the best idea. Because I had to hustle to get it all rewatched. At least a trilogy
Um,
of these long.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like I made a mistake
I
suggesting
allowed
them
it to
because
happen, so it's my fault.
yeah, they're very long and
Yeah,
very
like if we
slow
did like
paced.
the Three Colors trilogy, which each one's under 100 minutes, then it would not have been a problem.
Well, you got any uh, topics or anything like that?
I have notes for I take notes for all of them. I just got a decent
Yeah.
amount for parts 1 and 2, not so much part 3. I don't know why. So I guess let's go to Godfather Part 1. We're gonna also we're spoiling all of them, so if you haven't seen any of them, you gotta watch them. So part 1.
Of
So
course, we have the famous opening scene that's been parodied in a lot of different media.
oh yeah,
It's like
I never even knew it got parodied anywhere.
it's in Rugrats in Paris. It's in Zootopia. A lot of places.
Oh, okay, Zootopia. That I remember. Now I remember that.
Yeah. So
Where the guy's where the guy introduces like uh daughter keeping an honor over beauty. Oh my god, my notes are not very good. During part 2, I realized I should be time stamping my notes. That would have been good earlier. If this was someone else's money, I'd steal the purse. That's
this
a
is
good.
gonna be a disaster.
Yeah,
But
because
all right. So
yeah, that line.
I learned a few. Yeah. So I learned a few things about the mafia and how it's supposed to work. It's all supposed to be like a business. A bunch of people in a bunch of suits are making deals with one another. There's this guy named Salazzo who wants to get in on the drug business, and he approaches Vito, which is the Godfather of the first film. But then Vito's like, "Oh, this stuff is, it can be very dangerous. So he's not gonna get in on that.
Well,
then,
yeah, because Vito does explain in like a big meeting about a refusal is not the act of a friend for John not wanting long narcotics. I did take a note on that. Also took note of my favorite scene when the dishes were destroyed. I don't know why I love that scene.
Oh, that one. Yeah, so there's like a pregnant woman. Shoot, I forget exactly what
Was
the
it
relation.
Michael's wife? Or
Well, it wasn't Michael's wife. I think it was.
oh yeah, I feel like there's like a million characters in these movies. I have no idea who anyone is most of the time.
There's one really weird scene that if it was done nowadays, like I was actually imagining in my head what a Godfather remake would look like today, and it would probably be 2 hours long for each part. It would cut down a lot of the development and all that. Just go straight to the action stuff. So there's one scene when Vito actually, when he was out doing shopping in a market or something, there was an assassination attempt on his life. Dude, he got shot like 5 times that he didn't die.
Oh yeah, then what's not weird because this movie's phrased for its realistic death, where you get shot 5 times and you end up okay.
Yeah, so he goes to the. I was imagining what that scene would look like nowadays, and it would probably be very overdramatic. But I was surprised to see that in the movie, it wasn't very overdramatic. There wasn't like any sad music playing. There wasn't any close-ups or anything. It was just, I think it was Sonny or someone was holding him, and then he was just freaking out, and then the scene ends.
Wait, where was this? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, there's a character called Sonny who gets shot, and oh dang, what was his story arc?
Sonny. Oh yeah, Sonny was the one who was killed at the toll booth, I think. That's all I remember, Sonny.
Yeah, so he wanted to get revenge for something.
Did your audio just cut?
No, I don't know. So he was getting all riled up, but then Vito said to him that you can't let your emotions rule you.
I'm trying to remember. I can't remember the scene. Here's a quote. Tell me if you would agree with this quote. A man who does not spend time with his family can never be a real man. I forgot the context of this quote. I really should have timestamped it.
Yeah, I forgot that context. But yeah, I all throughout the movie, there's a very strong and realistic family dynamic throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, this entire trilogy is basically about family.
And I don't know if that's like realistic in like Italian families back in the day when they would be very I don't know how to describe it. I know Hispanic families are also very close together when it comes to family. So maybe it's like a Latin thing. Came from Latin America. What?
From what I could tell, I think all families try to stay close together unless they hate each other.
Yo. So a scene I thought was really well done was the diner scene.
Diner scene.
So Michael went to the diner. Salazzo and some crooked cop, they're gonna meet up and discuss.
Oh yeah, and I know. Wait, was this the one where he's in the conversation and Michael goes to the bathroom to get the gun, or am I thinking a different thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah,
one.
he goes behind the was behind the toilet. The gun is there. They planted it there. Right before he goes to that, Sollozzo gets very paranoid, and then he frisks Michael real quick, but he doesn't find anything on him, of course. Then he comes back, and they just shoots. They just walks out, and then he flees to Sicily, which that entire thing was in Italian.
Yeah, I find it really weird that that particular conversation didn't have subtitles. Because apparently, I read the main reason for that because what was spoken is not important, and they spoke too quickly.
Ew. Shoot. What do you think about the what is it? Michael falls in love with someone, but
And then
then
gets blown up in the car.
that was so. Is that a? I know it was trying to be shocking, but it just made me crack up laughing.
Yeah,
It came
it's
out of,
weird because that plot really doesn't seem to have any overall impact at all, except for being briefly mentioned in part 3. That was it. I couldn't. Other than that, literally, it could have been cut out and it would have been the same, basically. I think. I don't know.
what else is there? So he comes back to America after a few months, and then he becomes the new Don. He's Don Corleone after his father. Dude, dude, Vito's death scene, very very sad.
Oh yeah, when he was playing with the kid in the what was it, tomato yard? I think it was tomatoes, like some garden.
Yeah, so they were having a good time, and the kid, when Vito finally, collapsed over and died, the kid didn't think anything of it. He didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, when you're just playing with one and just falls down, you're like, oh, your first mind is that was intentional. Then you go, oh.
Yeah. And I guess some of the last scenes. So when he becomes the new Don, he goes to Kay, and Kay was like his old fiance,
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
we're talking about Michael running like hotel, having part in the hotel.
Dude, somebody's getting. Wait, okay. A hotel?
I think that was it. Wait. They were talking about shares of something. I'll be honest with you, I tend to not be able to follow the minor details of the plots of these movies. I have no idea why.
Okay, so then he said that in 5 years you'll go legitimate, and then Kay decides to be with Michael and be the his wife. I think that's where it ends, right? Where Michael's back and oh yeah, he's also sworn in, and then people are like kissing his hand. It
Oh
kind of reminds me
yeah.
of the last panel of JoJo Part 5.
I don't watch JoJo, so I don't know what that means.
Let's see if we can find it. Part 5, last panel. Giorno, the main guy, defeats Diavolo, and then he becomes the new mafia head. I think Araki, who is the writer of JoJo, actually got inspired by the ending scene of Godfather. I wouldn't put it past him.
You have a link to this so I can see it?
Dude, I can't find it. Man, I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. I'll send it to you later if you want, but jeez.
See anything else I want to mention?
Do you want to go on to part 2 now?
Sure. We've on part 1 for 12 minutes. That's below average, but it's a long episode, so whatever. Part 2 starting 15 minutes, 26 seconds. Alright, part 2 is the one I actually took the most notes on, which makes sense because it's the longest one. And this is where I started.
So whatever happened to Cyber Demon coming in on this?
Oh, I don't think she would have been able to watch all 3 in like a few days. I'll inform her of my next pick, and hopefully she'll watch it and join it and come in for the next episode.
Woohoo!
All right. Or maybe this thing was a whole ruse.
All right.
Would you give your loyalty to a Jew for your own blood? That was in the beginning. It's just that was a pretty interesting introduction to the fact that the family theme will continue from part 1.
I liked how in the beginning of part 2, it kind of mirrors near the beginning of part 1 where they're in a party and somewhere in a dark room.
How did I not realize that?
Business negotiations are happening with the Don.
How did I not remember that? Damn.
I thought that was interesting. I think 7 years passed chronologically between first and second movie. And I'll keep in mind that he said to Kay that he'd take 5 years to become legitimate. But it's taking a lot longer, so there's like tensions.
I did not notice that. Damn.
Yeah, so there's tensions. There's tensions in their relationship. They're like on rocky ground.
Yeah. This one was really about the part where Michael struggles after gaining the power. There's an interesting quote about like this idea of legacy, where they talk around the 1 hour 34 mark. I forgot who. I think it was. I can't remember who said it, but it was talking about Mo Green creating Las Vegas, yet having no plaque. And this is the business we chose them.
I completely forgot about Mo Greenford in the first movie.
Oh wait, he was in the first movie.
Wait, I thought he was.
Was
and then they brought him up in the second movie.
Yeah.
Basically, there was I think it was. Ah, geez, was it the second movie? I can't remember.
Second movie.
Because I watched the second part. The second part in like over the course of several days because it was
that's
so boring.
That's what I did with rewatching parts 1 and 2. I spread it out over several days.
Yo, I just during the last hour of the movie, it kind of gained a lot more momentum, and I was like, okay, I was focused. But those first couple hours were torture.
Yeah, definitely, because that's when you got the intense conflict between Michael and his wife. So yeah, I can definitely understand finding the last hour the most engaging part.
Mo Greenwood's the guy who owns all the casinos. And then Michael was trying to make a deal with him. But then Mo Green acted all high and mighty. He's like, kid or something like that.
Oh, that makes the whole this life you've chosen. Because when you're in the mafia, you don't want to get remembered no matter what, because you've done hard crime.
Mm-hmm. Yo, one of my favorite parts and the most engaging part was the Corleone family talking to what was it in court or where were they?
They did get in court.
Yeah, and they were talking. one of the guys confessed of everything. I think his name was Chi-Chi. So Chi-Chi confessed that he worked for and he had to kill people.
Oh yeah, now I remember him. Then later denied it, saying he didn't know Michael.
Rat.
Oh, did Ortiz disconnect? Wait. Alright, I had to rejoin. Remember the scene where the rebels were out fighting? And
What?
the rebels, Michael saw some rebels, and one of them went and like put himself in the car to blow up to avoid getting arrested.
Oh yes, that scene. I forgot all about it because I was like, "This is."
Yeah, and then I can't remember if it was Michael or the guy I was talking to who was having the birthday said actually I think it was Michael said the soldiers are paid to fight but the rebels aren't. Like that's if you think that the rebels are I can't remember what the rebels actually were wanting though.
Wait, that actually reminds me from a scene in the first movie where okay, so this is the scene where Michael goes to Kay after all the years. He comes back from Sicily, and then he says this thing. We're all just businessmen. We're no different from the politicians. But then Kay's like, well, the politicians don't kill people. And then Michael's like, who's being naive now?
How did I not? Why? How did I not note that? Oh my god, that's so funny.
Mm-hmm. It's really profound. Like,
I mean, yeah.
the difference between a soldier and a rebel. They're pretty much they do the same thing, but one's looked on differently than the other.
Yeah, one is
because of
ordered
their
by
name
government, the other is ordered by their will.
So I didn't actually. For the second movie, there were all these flashbacks to Vito Corleone's childhood and how he grew up and became the mob boss that he is.
Yeah, that was probably in like the third.
Yeah. The only problem is that I wasn't watching it with subtitles.
Yeah,
So
there was a lot of Italian in it, or yeah, and thankfully I was watching with subtitles, so I was able to follow it. I don't think I ever noted. Did I note anything that was in Italian? I don't think so. Yeah, the only thing that I can mention the little diner scene for the first movie didn't have subtitles, which was weird, but.
So I had to go off of context clues, and I also had to go off of my knowledge of the Spanish language. You know how Spanish and Italian are similar. I could kind of follow along.
Cool. That us being it does well in visual storytelling.
Yeah, that's what I had to go off of.
I was looking at my notes, and this funny line from Michael's arguing with his wife, things between men and women will not change. So I think that was between Michael and his wife. Let's talk about his wife wanting to keep the kids. Things between men and women will not change.
That scene was so intense. It just kept building up, and you could feel Michael's rage burning inside him.
Oh yeah, he was going ham.
Plot twist. So, I think it was Fredo, Michael's older brother. He actually works with this guy named Hyman Roth, who's from a.
Oh yeah, the Hyman Roth guy, the one that betrayed him, betrayed Michael.
Hyman Roth he said that he wants to live forever or something. Said he would give anything for just 20 more years. So so Fredo is actually manipulated by Hyman Roth to go, to plan an assassination on Michael. Because Fredo has this inferiority complex. He's the big. He wants to be respected.
Yeah, he even said he felt like he was being stepped on despite being the older one.
Yeah.
And that's why Michael killed him, as revealed in part 3.
Yeah, Michael take kindly to that betrayal.
I mean, to be fair, if someone ordered you to get assassinated, you're gonna want to murder. You're gonna want to kill back.
Yeah. Also, okay, so going back to the earlier point about a plot twist. So Fredo tells Michael that Kay miscarried. And we're led to believe that, and Michael is obviously very distraught about it. But later on, it's found out that it was an abortion instead.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Because she
Kay
didn't want
really,
the line of leaders continuing.
Yeah.
So cutting it off, basically.
It was an abortion, just like this relation. This marriage is an abortion. It's unholy and should not exist.
Yeah, it's true. A family of murderers is not what anyone call holy. There was a brief theme of nostalgia when Michael's talking about his memories of the house. I was trying to pay attention to see if there was any other things about this theme, but I couldn't notice any.
Wait, you're talking about the ending scene?
No, it was like a little over an hour in. Michael's talking about his memories of the house.
I don't remember that. Specifically, I don't remember that.
He was talking about like how little things were different in the house.
I must have zoned that part out. I'm sorry.
I will admit, rewatching going through all this in less than a month it's a little exhausting.
It vaguely sounds familiar. I was able to find anything else. There's this okay, so there's this thing. There's a structure in the mafia called the Capo Regime. And there's this one Capo Regime guy who gosh, what was his name? The old guy? The guy, the balding guy?
Oh yeah, he was the guy who had the party in that scene where I talked about the rebels. I can't recall his name.
Let's just call him the Capo. So yeah, so he's been with the Corleone family apparently for a very long time. He knows how it works and all that. Something happens during the beginning of the movie, where he's kind of in trouble, or he's having a fit. There was one where he said something that was really interesting. He said that the Corleone family was once like the Roman Empire.
Yeah, and like the Roman Empire, it fell.
Yeah, definitely. It's a really good metaphor or whatever.
Yeah, metaphor. Actually, no, this is similarly because he used the word like.
Yeah. And he ended up in a bathtub full of his own blood. It was, the imagery was so yucky.
Who's the living Roman Empire now? What else gonna say?
And the very last scene, is Fredo. Fredo is on a boat. He actually tells earlier when he's teaching Michael's son how to fish.
Oh yeah, the
He's saying
fishing.
that so he would always catch a fish because he did a Hail Mary before. And so when in the scene where he dies, he's doing a Hail Mary, but the guy behind him, while he's doing it, shoots him in the head. He's blissfully unaware of anything happening, of what's happening. It's kind of sad. I wanted Fredo to redeem himself,
Yeah.
It seemed like yeah.
But life doesn't really give you a lot of second chances.
Yeah.
Okay then, I guess part 2 stuff, so let's go to part 3.
Dude. This is, it takes place a bit later, like 16, 15 or whatever years later.
Yeah, this is a fun fact. This movie was specifically made to get because apparently like Francis Coppola, the director, had like a big bomb movie, so the studio wanted him to make a movie that'll get mad money, so he made Godfather Part 3. It wasn't even based on the books like the first two.
I didn't even know that.
Oh man, that's a funny backstory.
Okay, so this, from what I know, there's a character. Well, one of the main reasons why people don't really like the third movie is that they don't like that Michael Corleone is having a mental breakdown.
Oh yeah, because he even gets like there was a scene in the middle where there's the Pope. It's talking about like his blood pressure gets so high, some days have it because of stress.
Yeah. So there's this other guy, Vincent, who's Sonny's son. Sonny was the guy who got killed in the beginning, or somewhere near the beginning of the first movie.
Well, actually, no, Sonny was filmed later in the movie, if I remember right. It's all it was later in the movie of the first one.
Yes, Vincent is a badass from what I've seen of him. Like there's a hostage situation or something. There's like this guy with the thing over his head. He was threatening, like a hostage, threatening to kill a girl. But then he just shot the girl that he had, and I guess they talked about something. That's the clip that I saw. But so I also saw the ending scene. Very beautiful.
Where he and I think it was Fredo's daughter, if I remember right, played by by the director's daughter, Sophia Coppola, who
Sophia Coppola.
Yeah, she later directed like The Virgin Suicides and Lost in Translation. But she's a pretty bad actress in this. A lot of people complain of her acting.
Oh yeah, so Mary is one of the daughters of frickin' Michael, one of Kay's daughters. So there's Anthony and then there's Mary. Anthony's the guy. He's the one who does the opera stuff.
Oh, there's a pretty funny moment where there was like a puppet show that was like eerie similar to Michael's son, where even Michael's wife pointed out the similarities, where it's like Michael was like rejecting his son for being what was it, a singer or something with music. And then the puppet show was like the father like kills the son. I forgot why. That was funny. Damn it, I didn't also
Yo.
need to write down who says the quotes. Trying to remember said the "I wanted the power to preserve the family" quote. Also, it's kind of interesting how in this movie Michael wants out when the second one was beforehand he was so into it.
Yeah. Vincent actually becomes the new Don, right?
I can't recall.
Yeah, he becomes the new Don. Because shoot. Vincent, who is Sonny's son, gets into a relationship with Mary. But Michael didn't want any of that because, Michael, oh man, he didn't want Mary to get hurt. Oh man, dude, this is a travesty. Dude, this entire stream is awful. We shouldn't have done this.
No, it's not a disaster. This is not even the worst episode. The worst episode is episode 5. Did you ever watch episode 5? Episode 5. Oh boy.
I get it.
If you haven't seen episode 5, just watch episode 5. It was something else. Hopefully, it will never get that bad. That was a shit show. Yeah, if we're out of stuff to talk about, let's go to Q&A because we got one question for Q&A. We got all right. I'm gonna start the Q&A. Unless you have anything else to say.
I guess the third movie is just about Michael just wanting out of the entire thing. Wants a simple life. I think in the first movie, he doesn't want anything. Well, they expect him to not inherit the family business. They expect him to go, but he comes back in anyway. Oh, this is actually a very famous.
Yeah.
Right when I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
They pulled me back in. That quote's
I didn't even know it was from this movie.
Yeah, it was from this movie.
What?
Alright. Well, if you don't have anything else to say, I'll go to the one question for the Q&A. It's a pretty interesting question.
Yeah.
Alright, Q&A, one question. So, watch Infinity War, you faggot asks, when's Infinity War?
Wait, who's asking these questions?
It's Nick X Skull. Yeah, for some reason he's like so determined to have me talk on Infinity War on the podcast. I've seen Infinity War. I was mostly bored by it because I was just mostly fighting. The Thanos parts were interesting, but the rest of it, I was just bored out of my mind. I would never pick it. If anyone else on the podcast picks it, sure, we'll have Infinity War. Until then, no Infinity War.
I think.
Have you seen Infinity War?
No, I have not. I've only seen the surplus of memes that still won't die.
I'll be honest. The memes are better than the actual movie. The memes are 10 out of 10. The movie I would give like a 5 out of 10. Well, that was a fun trilogy discussion. So, I got a movie. I really wanted to rewatch so I can better talk about my thoughts on 2018 movies video that I'm working on. So, Master Leo Blue, have you ever seen Annihilation?
Don't even know what. Nope.
Oh boy, this movie's really good. I think we'll have a really intense discussion about Annihilation. So yeah, next episode we're talking about Annihilation. And
it's a
any recordings?
6.9 on IMDb.
Yeah.
Biologist signs up.
69.
All right.
No, this movie rates. Yeah, it's definitely gonna fun a lot. We're definitely gonna have a lot to discuss on this one. Alright.
Sacred Expedition to a mysterious zone where the laws of nature don't.
Yeah, this movie.
That sounds interesting. They could do a
it's
lot of
like
cool things with that concept.
Yeah, it's like a sci-fi horror.
Alright.
We'll see in like what day?
I guess Saturday.
Yeah,
This Saturday or
not this weekend. I don't think. Or would
oh
you?
shoot.
Oh, you want to do this weekend?
Next Monday?
Next Monday.
Next Monday then?
Or you want to do this Monday?
Oh yeah, exactly 1 week from now.
Okay, so it's 28th.
28th.
Okay, so this is now a Monday podcast. All right then.
All right then. Go.
All right. I need episode 3, 2, 1.